We are here live at Darlington Raceway for race number 3 of the USARC AutoNation Cup Series season. Today we're here at the Darlington Raceway for the Tornado Southern 500. This has been a pretty interesting racetrack over the last couple of years. We've seen a lot of crazy moments here. Last year especially, Justin Wimmer had his issues late, fuel mileage at the end, but today it's 40 cars on the grid here for the third race of the AutoNation Cup Series season. And I think there's definitely a lot of storylines going into today.
There is. I do want to mention just the track itself. It's a very unique track, egg-shaped oval, about 1 1/3 miles long. Long race though, 90 laps, and the groove is narrow. Passing is going to be at a premium today, so you need to make up time either on track somehow or on pit road, and most importantly, you got to keep your car out of the outside wall.
I mean, historically, in the two occasions we've had the APS run here, it was kind of a runaway victory for Justin Whitmer. He won in Season 1, but then Season 2 ran into issues late on, getting caught up in a late race yellow. But other than that, we've actually, in both Darlington races, stayed very clean and run. We've seen quite dominant runs from the 18. He clearly knows his way around this track very well. So it'll be interesting to see who can challenge him in what has proven to be a very competitive field so far in the ANCS.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll be very interesting here today. We'll see if maybe Dodge can get their first win of the year. So far this year, it's been Ford and Toyota going to victory lane here. Chevrolet get the win. Dodge get the win, as previously mentioned. As you see some of the cars at the back of the field. A couple rookies, that have struggled so far this year. Car Swap for BPM and Jet Hawksworth for Full Send Racing. Those two have definitely had their share of struggles this year, Hawksworth especially, but both of them will have to come from the back here today to have a good shot. There's also some pretty big names starting towards the back. Specifically around 30, you see the 11 of Roach Rotfield, the 8 of Riley Spurley Tube, the 4 of Luna Bennington, new colors on that car, and the 14 of Peter Onjak. All 4 of those drivers are the kind of drivers that usually run pretty good on these sort of racetracks.
Yeah, and it's especially interesting to see Onjak and Bennington back here because Denver's a very similar track to Darlington in the sense of it takes a lot as a driver. You need to have perfect car placement lap after lap, and mistakes will punish you heavily. And that was found out in the APS race last week where Bennington and Onjak did get together, and it did not end well. But further up on the grid, we have some more names, I believe. Ricky Freeman Jr. starting 22nd, Lotus Desperito just behind him in 23rd. And then, all the way up there in the top 10, pretty balanced between the 4 manufacturers, but the names you expect to see up toward the front are there today.
Yeah, and I just want to point out a great qualifying from Jeffrey Finguy in the second start for his team, Finguy Saitomi Motorsports. Failed to qualify at Daytona and had a difficult run at Denver, running 2 laps down for virtually the whole race, rolling off in 13th. Brian Grigsby as well, he's had a very strong start for the small team of Team Nippon GTR. He starts in 12th. Jacques Rigel, a known road course ringer, doesn't really make much of an appearance sometimes at these speedways. He rolls off in the top 5. Some very interesting outcomes from qualifying. It's going to be very interesting today to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here today at Darlington. We'll go down, we'll get the command here, we'll fire engine, and we'll go racing for 92 laps around the Lady in Black. We'll be right back with the command in just a moment.
Drivers, start your engines!
As all 40 cars roll off here at Darlington. As mentioned, this is an egg-shaped oval, 1.3 miles, so not quite 1.5, but certainly not a short track either. 2 very different ends of this racetrack. So here, turns 1 and 2, wide and bank, you can usually go around 160, 170 miles an hour for them, but turns 3 and 4 are much narrower in terms of the length of the corner. Makes them very interesting racetrack because you can't set up your car to be perfect around the whole track.
And for Justin Whitmer, he is looking for that perfection here. He showed it in Season 1, was on his way in Season 2, but had his issues. In USARC, there's a couple drivers who just have a couple tracks down under their belt, and it's definitely here. The track too tough to tame, some call it, but Justin Whitmer has found a way to tame it. Can he do it again today?
It'll certainly be interesting here. We know the biggest trouble spot today, I think, is going to be coming off turn 2. You can get really loose off that corner. Car to step out, you'll slap the wall, and that's going to be dangerous here today. But we'll see what happens here today. Who can keep their car the cleanest? Who can keep their car going the fastest all the way around this racetrack here as we get set to go racing? We are green at Darlington.
Oh, and the 10 got in the
Evans
wall.
got the
Yeah.
wall. Yeah, Evans definitely got the wall right there. He's going to lose 3 spots on the opening lap. Everybody trying to fight their way to the low side of this racetrack here. As Whitmer leads lap 1, trying to now pull away a little bit.
Got a good gap there over the 01 and the 22 close behind. The 10 got the wall early, really back up the outside line, but he's found a way to the bottom now. He slipped in nicely there in P5 as there's some more contact further back.
Yeah, I think that was Brian Grigsby in the 26 that got the wall, as everybody now single filing out here.
Very volatile start for some on the exit of turn 2, like we were saying. Currently leading to Joe Zeller in a very colourful scheme down the inside of Aiden Smith. Brian Grigsby also getting down there. It's really difficult once you get on the outside through turns 1 and 2. Try and just find a bit of a groove, some grip that's going to be helpful. And in comes the 26.
Wow. I mean, I know he got the wall, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, it's a very long race. You know, I'm not 100% on the strategy window here, but fix your car now. Don't ride around with damage and just kill yourself on time.
Yeah, interesting call here, because that car looked to be up to speed still. It's for the race lead. Here come Ben McMurdo.
Not able to play the 18 with a run on the outside. He's going to gap the 01 slightly here as well.
Getting out a little bit back down to 1 and 2. It's going to be Nicholas Santiago, the championship leader. It's going to get hung out.
I think he hit the wall slightly there as well. It was very minor contact.
If he didn't, it was very close. As, oh boy, let's go back. Fox on the inside there.
It's not gonna matter.
So Wimmer back out in front here, though, after a slight moment, as there's Brigsby coming back out.
Oh, and Murdo's quite high. Ooh, yeah.
That was a big hit.
And the
Huge contact with the wall up there too. And look at him, he's in a hemorrhage spot.
And that's the 53 of Herman there as well. Slightly less of a hit, but both were very hard regardless, and you can see the damage on the 01. And that's not ideal at all.
That's going to hurt. And here comes Throwback Fox. Now it's just going to be stuck on the outside. You're going to have to do this all over again for Ben McMurdo.
Could get worse here if he gets loose again, especially with slight aero disadvantage now. I wonder if he'll make a similar call to the 2016 and get that seen to earlier on rather than later in the race.
He couldn't do it that time though with a narrow groove here. He had the 53 to his inside, could not get the car turned down. It's a very tough pit entry here, all the way at the inside of the track.
Here comes Cameron Brennan underneath Luke Evans, Boback Fox going with.
And this is
so far at least.
Put Rigel up into second, and we do not normally see the Frenchman up here on the speedways like this. Put on a good show in the 8 in the APS for Daytona Motorsports at Denver. I believe he came away with a top 10 finish. Rigel really trying to prove here with a big break at a team like Ongiorto, but he is more than just a road course ringer, and he's certainly playing up to that today.
Yeah, and he wasn't too bad last week at Denver either. I think he finished inside the top 15. So far, it's been a pretty strong start for this 22 team. As there's Lexi Herman trying to get around Cameron Brennan. Nothing doing there, though. As Murdo has really fallen back.
Yeah, if I was his crew chief, I'd be calling him in as soon as possible. But it can be difficult here at Darlington to get that car down pit road. As we've seen, he's just going to be hemorrhaging positions, and he may find himself stuck on the outside. This might be a good opportunity here, but they might just try to stick it out, and that's looks like that's what they're doing.
I don't know how much of a choice they have.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. But also losing spots is the 53 of Lexi Herman. I believe she is even further back, unless I saw another gray car further back on the high side.
I think that might have been Greenman.
It may have been the
around
15.
7 or 8.
I think, yeah, it was the 15.
On Jack here, climbed up to...
been on the charge here early, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, started in 31st up to 18th, and that could easily be more positions. Very strong start early on.
Also want to give a nod to the Morris Motorsports cars, the 6 and the 89. 6 is actually running top 10 right now with Brandon Morris behind the wheel.
Yeah, ran a back number of Reese Kupski here. This is about for 9th spot. Kupski had a pretty good start here actually today, and that's a team that really needs it with their runs at both Daytona and Denver the first 2 weeks of the season. But currently inside the top 10, might lose 9th to Brandon Morris though. Here comes Zeller as well.
Zeller with a big lunge into one, can't find the groove. Morris with defense, playing both sides, offense and defense here on lap 13. As Kupski scrapes the wall.
He did that last week
Morris probably get this 9th spot.
Kupski did that last week at Denver, also off of turn 2, and he had such severe damage. He boxed and was in the pits for at least 3 or 4 laps, and it just completely ruined his day. And we'll be getting flashbacks to last week. If he does that again, he's just going to have to slot back in here in 11th, and Zeller's going to enter the top 10. Morris up to 9th.
And Lexi Herman has not fallen back. She made the move on the 55 as well, but we had a real tight battle there for P2.
So that's the 26.
Yeah, that's
someone else.
And that's Grigsby.
Yeah, as you see some of the cars in the back, that was Bulk Borger and 52. Luna Bankton back in 37 still.
That's got to hurt after such a strong run at Denver. Don't know if she's just gotten bogged down slightly or what. I don't know if it's maybe just an issue with how the car's running. Yeah, really tough day so far at Darlington. We've got a long way to go.
It seems like it's really ebbing and flowing at the front of the field. Rigel was being hounded by the 44, but now the 22 has found its rhythm once again and is all over the back bumper of the leader's Dodge Charger, Justin Whitmer.
Yeah, the Whitmer's a little bit better in 1 and 2. Just a little bit. He's on Rigel at the jump after a little bit there.
I think that 22 team would be just really comfortable running as they are right now. I don't think there's too much pressure on him to make a huge challenge this early unless he thinks he can pull away.
Yeah, I mean, we know, obviously, I believe it's after race 16, we'll have the chase start up, and that's going to be interesting here because we're approaching that quarter mark in the regular season here. And obviously it's still much too early to really say who will be in that chase, but we're starting to maybe get a glimpse of who will be a contender.
Oh, definitely. Points matter for sure. And, everybody up here, they're trying to score, obviously. And I think somebody who could be a really big contender as well is running P6 right now in that 07 car for Toyota Factory Team TGR.
Yeah, I mean, that's your championship leader going into today. Definitely a little bit high right there, but seems to have actually worked out pretty okay for him. As here comes Zachary DeLello, who we haven't really talked about, despite the fact I believe he's, 4th in points, 3rd in points going today?
Yeah, he's having a really good, quietly really good season. Solid performance at Denver, came home with a top 10. As they go for the lead, Gail looking Can't make anything
Little
happen
clean
just
air
yet.
on the nose.
He's got clean air on the nose a little bit right now, but now he's going to have to get back in the 88 wake. He's got a good run off of 2, actually, though, here, I think.
He's playing it very smart, not forcing any issues. As
DeLello's
look at this,
third.
up to 3rd place, the 55. DeLello, yeah, that's huge. Here comes Raquel. Possibly, is this the move? Forces Whitmer up the track, but does he get the bite on the bottom? It's tight.
Oh, he
Ooh,
got loose!
oh, he's got an issue.
Oh, I think he's got a problem! Oh boy. That
Oh,
might
man.
be a tire issue on the 22.
Yeah, it still looks
Just
like
have
he's
to
under
limp
his own
back
power.
It could be tire, it could be engine, because, you know, there's an age-old saying in racing, the car runs a little bit better, the motor gives you a little bit more power before it blows. And whatever the day, it's going to be heartbreak for that 22 team.
It's just tough for, you know, and that's the second week in a row that on Auto cars had some sort of issue. Not sure what this time it is, but just a shame right there for that team.
Now we're going to see here is Rigel pulls into pit road. What exactly the oh, and Whitmer's fallen back.
Oh,
New leader.
what in
He
the...
got pushed up on
wow.
the high side by Raquel's move, and I think DeLello was just able to fire it in and take the lead from it. That was excellent. The 55 is on a tear to end this opening run.
The checking in on Rigel was Luna Bennington's the last car on the lead lap right now. Oh, and that's definitely a tyre issue. Rigel's coming back out.
Yeah, I think the only real way this works out for Raquel is if this runs green now.
Yeah, he's got a very fast car, so he's...
Well, I guess in theory he could get the free pass.
It's a very
Unless
fast
he's
car,
going
but
for
you
Grigsby.
lost so much time having to limp it back to the pits. There's no way he'll be able to cycle back up to where he was running at the start of the race. But at least it's good to know for himself and that team that he's still in the fight.
I think his race now is Brian Grigsby. We'll check when he crosses the line, but I'm fairly certain he is also just 1 lap down. And that
Yes,
is the
he
case.
is.
So he's racing the 26 right now for the free pass, if we get a caution. Which we know, based off of
Well, he's on
Denver,
track.
might be kind of rare in the ANCS at this point.
Yeah, which has been a bit surprising. You'd think these cars would be hard to drive than the APS cars, but so far at least, that hasn't seemed to have been the case as battling here now.
Look at this side-by-side action here in the 3. Brennan really putting them down on the high side. Can he make it stick?
I think he's going to. Did he cover up the double the 07? No. And he's just going to fall back behind Herman, Santiago, and Boback Fox. Zella's going to be waiting to pounce as well.
As I see this big group back here, there's OnJack, there's Spurley Tube, they're both on the move here.
Yeah, OnJack's, I believe it is running 11th right now as the 10 car is falling back on the outside. We can see Herman going for the move up ahead, Aiden Smith looking on his teammate Brandon Morris, Stephen Cologne as well having a look. Evans returns the favour. He's got damage
Evans got
actually.
the wall
Yeah.
now.
Returns the favour to the 08 and makes the pass. Spurley Tube's going to take one as well. And back up front, here comes Zeller on a charge.
That's a big send in the 3. He's got it, though. He's got it easily. Santiago does not fight it. Gives that to the 64 in its special scheme.
Here comes, ooh, boy, yeah, Fox had a look, wasn't close enough to make a move though.
These guys are
This race
5
was
seconds
fairly-
back.
Yeah,
These two have checked
Yeah,
out,
how-
and Whitmer's struggling to keep up with DeLillo.
how close is the low to lap traffic is what I'm wondering right now, a little bit. Not very. Raquel's gone by to, well actually Raquel's on fresh tires. so I
Raquel's
guess that's
flying, yeah, I
something
mean,
surprising.
very much makes sense as Luna Bennington's still struggling. What on earth is happening to the 4 team over at SSR today? Jet Hawksworth hardly doing any better. Christian Bardishaw, Daytona winner, also in the back here struggling. Oh, and in comes Henley in the 00. That might be a strategic call.
Guess he's
Got
the
a little
first guy to
scrape on the
really go
side of
down
that
pit
car.
road.
There is slight damage. I wonder if we're going to see anyone else coming in though. Through turns 3 and 4. Looks like everyone else is staying out for now, but you can definitely notice now 30 laps in here at Darlington. Cars are coming off turn 4 a lot slower than they were 30 laps ago. Those tyres are really starting to wear down. And I think we've seen that kind of in the racing as well. Cars getting a little bit more loose, kind of getting a little bit more tight as we really head towards the end of this first stint on these tyres and fuel.
I do want to look back to the
issues.
We got
top
problems
10
in
again,
one
as
of
we've had an
the
incident, so we're
racing.
not going to look at the 26 around.
Are we under yellow?
Very precarious place to
What
be,
in the
but the
world is
caution
he
should be out.
Oh!
Oh my goodness! Herman does not
What
get
in the
by, plows
world?
into the
Oh,
26, and the 07's
07's
involved, the
in.
points leader.
What in the world just happened?
The 26 found issues possibly by himself. Nicolas Santiago, your championship leader, has got caught up in the mess.
Well then, that's very interesting as Herman's destroyed.
Now, this is going to be interesting.
The best
because-
cars
Watch
of the
out,
day are
watch
out.
We got cars coming around at full speed.
Yeah, I was about to say this is not what USARC
Be a
want.
bit
Austin
precarious.
Billion's got heavy damage as well, actually.
Yeah, I think everyone's gotten slowed down okay. Hawksworth fell
Yeah.
back possibly. It might have been 88's got damage too.
Oh yeah, big damage on Carter Swab.
A lot
So
of damage.
well, this is going to be interesting because all the field's back here. These guys are just heading into
There's
the
the
pits.
free pass as well. Is it the 00 to 22?
22.
Well, that's big for a gal.
But we'll have to wait for the pit stop to cycle around. Henley will get one lap back anyway, assuming that he'll be waived as well once pit stops are over.
He should be tail end.
Yeah.
As here comes. God, wow, what in the world could have happened?
Luckily,
Santiago's still fourth,
that
by the way.
07 does not look too damaged.
And he's
I
still
say, that
fourth.
car looks
'cause
All things
fine.
considered.
The caution came out before he crossed the line, so he's registered fourth and he has to stay there. Even though he found issues, he might be okay, Nicolas Santiago. A huge break for your championship leader. But here we see your leaders down in pit road.
Wimmer should pretty easily
Watch
win the
the
race
18
off here,
Hellman's crew
especially
go to
with
work.
all these guys in the back being separated like that.
DeLillo's out.
Four
He,
tires and fuel for everybody.
Box is out. Wimmer's had a bit of a longer stop.
Bobak Fox will win the race off pit road. It's kind of who's going to be fourth, and it's going to be Nicolas Santiago, followed by Cameron Brennan, Gozella, Peter Onjak, and Riley Spurley-Tudor
And Riley
into the top 10.
Spurley-Tudor.
Big stops, big stops.
What a day those two are having. Decent days for the 62 and 50-17. It's supposed to be part-time, but they're both having an amazing start to this season. Everyone else filtering out pit road. Good stop for the 77 team. I believe they're just inside the top 20. On the Jet Hawksworth as well, I think he's gained a few positions on pit road. Anthony Greeman kind of struggling in the midfield. Luna Bennington, I believe, as well would have gained spots on pit road.
Yeah, I think they've gained a couple spots there.
And Rigel's now
Rigel now
coming
will
down,
pit.
but I imagine he'll still be waived. We'll have to wait and see, but in the meantime, we'll go and catch a replay. Just a third of the way through, we are under yellow here at Darlington.
Well, you see right here, going down to turn 1, Grigsby has a run and just, well, not really sure to judge that one there. Just gets in the Carter Swab, and then he's sitting on the apron here. I don't know if he sees Lexi Herman coming, because Herman's going to go down. Grigsby starts to try to move up, and they just collide.
I think that
Nowhere
was-
for the 07 to go. Maybe a little bit of damage for Cameron Brennan, but otherwise, everybody gets through it mostly unscathed, I believe. Possibly a bit of a stack up
Yeah.
behind them, but
I think Santiago is going to be okay. Some slight damage on the rear you can see there, but yeah, Herman and Grigsby the only real casualties from that one. A hard crash though nonetheless, but both drivers have thankfully been cleared at the infield care centre. So we'll be right back to bring you the restart here at the Southern 500.
Welcome back here from the Darlington Raceway, where we're getting set to go back racing here into Boback Fox out front over Justin Whitmer, Zachary DeLello, the 07 of Nicholas Santiago and Cameron Brennan, your top 5. We're not sure about the 07, might be some damage there, but that car seems to be fine. Rest of your top 10, Joe Zeller, Peter Onjack, Riley Spurley-Tube, Lotus Desperito, and I believe that was Stephen Colon, who rounds out the top 10.
There is damage on Brennan's car, I want to point out. There is hood damage on that one. More so than Santiago, so that might be something to look out for in the restart. Yeah, kind of hard to tell how that's going to affect him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here as the pace car is back off. As we get set to go back green here on lap 35 of 92.
Have to see how Boback Fox does out in the lead of this race. It's been all Dodge so far between Justin Whitmer and Zachary DeLello, but now the JZR 44 takes us back to green.
Pretty good restart there by Fox. Everybody pretty smooth here. A little bit of a check as and Jeffrey Finn guy.
2 weeks in a row finds herself on pit road. The 05 is slow as well, possibly some engine issues on the 05 of Mina Truex, and that's held up some cars at the back with Gell, Bob, Borger, Sells, Royals and Billion. A slight gap to the rest of the field. It'll be Boback Fox who leads that first lap.
Oh, and Brennan really struggling there, and Whitmer way up the racetrack.
The hill, he keeps it off the wall though. That is huge. He'll get back in line when he can. Not falling back as much as the 1 had been. Up on the high side through 3 and 4, really trying to swing it around the 07, but there's just no grip up there. As DeLello fancying a move for the lead, I think.
Yeah, Santiago
Here
seems to be
he
totally
goes.
fine here, but DeLello for the lead. He's gonna get it back.
Ooh.
Yeah, back out front.
Whitmer got in the wall.
Whitmer almost free wide. Onjack had a look.
Whitmer got in the wall and Onjack had to make a quick decision of backing off or sending it free wide at Darlington, which is almost suicide, and he's going to have a chance. Oh, we're under yellow.
Oh, caution tempo. And that is...
huge
boy.
crash.
Big wreck in 3 and 4.
Brandon
The
Morris.
6.
Oh, he was having such a good day. Swab as well. I saw Bennington as well. I think Bolt Borger as well, and that is also Angel Gutierrez. Huge crash in turns 3 and 4 at Darlington. Some big hits here.
Yeah, Finn guy's back rolling there as well, I saw.
Yeah, he'll be a few laps down. Henley will get the free pass this time by, and we are seeing some split strategy. DeLello's down pit road. Anyone else going to follow?
This is very interesting if it's just the leader going to pit.
We see a couple
I
other
don't know
ones.
why you'd want to give up your track position here at Darlington. There's some people in the back, but nobody else is coming in the top 10. This is... You just pit as well.
Maybe just trying to extend the fuel window. I don't know. There's Akmafayev and McColton and... Oh!
Whoa, what in the...
What is going on here? Finn guy isn't...
Finn guy does hit the 50... What in the...
What?
So Finn guy has not taken the caution. He was on pit road when the caution's out. He had not taken the caution. He was at full speed trying to get back on and take the caution. That's what happened.
And a bunch of cars are destroyed from that. Blake Hardwick damage, Cameron Brennan, Roach Rotfield as well. And it was just fuel as DeLello comes out. Pit road, Bez Brigel, he will be retiring almost immediately. And I will say this now, if they get that 9 back re-rolling, I can imagine, and they will not. I would imagine he would have been parked anyway.
That is unfortunate.
We're going to have quite a few retirements here. Finn guys out, Bennington, 25 of Angel Gutierrez, Carter Swab, and I believe I saw another car there, the 22 and the 6 as well involved. Chaos under caution. We're going to have a quick look at this one, but just what on earth going on here at Darlington?
So into 3 and 4, it's a battle of the fast food cars, Popeyes versus Hardee's. Aiden Smith did not like the 25, gets into his right rear, and unfortunately with the narrow grooves, it's tough to avoid, piling in the 6'4", 74, 88, and 22. All get the worst of it. The 05 barely scrapes by as well, but Angel Gutierrez having a great run. It ends early.
On board with the 4, and you can see the accident in the distance, and Bennington just has nowhere to go. A horrible hard hit there for the 4 team, and really sums up a very tough day.
Well, you see right here, Jeffrey Finguy had some issues before, apparently with the throttle on pit road. I think it might have hung right here, and just unfortunate Blake Card, Cameron Brennan, and Blair McKenzie. Blair McKenzie, a lot of incidents for that 5 car, just out of her control. But everybody checks up. They're not sure what Jet Hawksworth was doing in the background, but they all avoid without any serious issues. So very unfortunate over Finguy here. It's been a rough start to the year for that team. But we'll have a restart here in just a moment, as 2 big accidents here at Darlington. Welcome back here from the Darlington Raceway. We're getting set to go back green this time by, as it's Bobak Fox out in front here. So 32 cars left in the running here at Darlington. So we're down 8 from the start. As previously mentioned, 7 or 8 cars out of race here already. Miguel out of it. Blake Carr, actually, no, Carr's still on the racetrack, my bad. Carter Swab is out of the race. Brandon Moritz, Angel Gutierrez, Ludwig Bennington, Jeffrey Finguy, all out in those previous 2 incidents.
We have some names up at the front of the field that we've not really seen today. Joe Zeller is all the way up to 3rd. Riley Spurley Tube has had a great drive through the field, and as well, a bit of an underrated one behind him, Lotus Disparito. Whitmer's got a strong car. Onjak has a strong car, but he had a poor qualifying. Stephen Colon as well, putting together a good race, but at the end of the top 10, Blair McKenzie, Cameron Brennan with some damage now. It's going to be very interesting to see what they can do. And DeLello there in 11th on fresh tires as we come back to green in the Southern 500.
Pretty good restart yet again here from Bobak Fox. Everybody clean. Lee through the gears, just trying to look behind here. Everybody seems to be up to song. Possibly a bit of a slow start from 0 to 1.
He's going to get passed by pretty much everyone here. Yeah, he's going to fall right to the back, and he may have issues with minimum speed here as well. Not ideal at all for Cameron Brennan.
He'll probably pit when he can get the lane to get to the inside and do that.
He'd like you,
probably next time by
yeah,
or so.
I'd like to think so. As early looking underneath the 64 Zeller got a little bit loose though. Couldn't get the job fully done, and here comes a 64 for a JZL 1-2. Had to back off.
You couldn't make it
Cars
stick here.
punched a little bit of a bubble in the air, and the 8 got so close to the 64 through 3 and 4, he just had to lip. The car was getting too tight. Cannot risk getting into the wall here at Darlington.
Yes, here goes 64 on the charge this time though, and this time he's got it easily. It's going to cost Santiago a couple spots. There goes Swirly through here from Santiago's teammate.
Ooh, and he hit the wall.
Oh!
When we're going by, Onjak might let him in line.
Ooh, he didn't want to. That was reluctant. They're just a check on Cameron Brennan. Maverick McCourton's back down pit road. I believe that's the 4th time that car's come into the pits. Brennan's just circled out towards the back of the pack. He's off pace, as is, I believe, Blake Card and Mina Truex. It'll be interesting to see what USARC do, if they do anything at all regarding those slow cars.
Onjak is the battle for the 6th spot. Drives it in there, easily gets clear. As he's going to take Stephen Colon with him, it looks like.
Blair McKenzie as well.
Oh, I think Mackenzie's gone away fine with this.
Well, she's up to speed. That's great to see. So DeLello's just been following. He's not really been able to make up many places, but got pressure tyres. He's biding his time here, and a huge hit turn 64.
That's going to drop Zeller back from chasing his teammate for the lead. He's going to fall out of the top 5 now.
Surprised there's not more damage there. That was a really hard hit as Rockfield and Valello and Freeman all to the inside of Graham McKenzie. Back up front, Burley's got caught on the high side.
Yeah, Whitmer up to third, might go for a second here. He's got the run down the backstretch. Not enough as Onjak had a peak as well, but backs out of it.
I don't know if he had a run or if he had a moment off the corner, because he was low on the straightaway too early to really use that little bit of advantage you get from the slipstream behind the car ahead of you trying to pass into turn 3. At a track like this where you really have to fire it in, you need to stay in the draft of the leading car as long as you can. And Onjak might try and prove that wrong, doing a bunch of clean air on the nose through 1 and 2, but tucks back in nicely behind. He's all the way up to 4th.
As this burrito has begun to track down Blowback Fox from the lead, though, that gap has shrunken a lot here. This burrito right on the bumper now, and going for the lead into turn 1. And easily gets that pass done. Might have maybe gone to back in the 44 a little bit.
That was tight. 44, going to drop back even further on the high side. Whitmer and Onjak, two of the stalwarts of USARC, proved their wealth once again.
Been able to tuck in quite nicely into third. Waiting in the wing, it's the Daytona Motorsports duo. It's Riley Spurley-Tube, Stephen Cologne with a very solid day so far. Coming from the back, Spurley-Tube. But I have to say as well, not laid up the sort of ground I thought he would on fresher tyres. Ooh!
Zeller got the wall and almost hit Reese Kupski, who's been having a pretty nice day actually here in the 40.
Yeah, just on the
Just about
outside.
that one
Cannot find his
11.
groove. Got in the wall from second and has gotten it twice, I think, since then. Do want to shout out though that 11 car, the SSR, or some of their full-time entries, 3 of them has fallen through the field, but this 11 car, the Red Bull Mustang, has gone the opposite way, has found himself into the top 10 now.
Well, Roach Rockfield
Might go for
started
7th.
around the back with Riley Spurley-Tube and Onjak, who's actually just got in the wall there slightly. And with those two, he's climbed up through the field and he's having a very solid day. Past DeLello now as well. Did I see a lap car in the distance? I did. Cameron Brennan is very slow. And I wonder if USARC will have anything to say about that.
Because there's a couple of cars having pretty decent days around like the top 15 or so. I saw, I believe, Eli Steelwolf back there. This is back around 15th or so. Kupski, you see, having a nice run. Jet Hawksworth having a good day. A 62 team having another good run.
Luke Evans climbed back up after a poor pit stop under yellow. Santiago, running up front, he just kind of stunk after that restart. He found himself in 17th. Yeah, good run for these
Billion
guys
having a nice
here.
day as well. In 18th, well, it's gonna be 19th, but a second year. Here comes Anthony Greenman. Greenman's got the wall somewhere, but that car seems to be okay.
For the lead.
Oh, I don't think he's got enough though to get underneath the 08 here.
Fox is caught right up to these two as a result of their battling. Lapped car's going to get in the way here. Not going to be too bad. Everyone able to sneak through on the inside. Cameron Brennan just really unfortunate the way he's picked up damage today.
Well, he's looking again. Not quite there though for Justin Whitmer.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break here at Darlington. We are over halfway through in the Tornadoes Southern 500.
Welcome back here from Darlington Raceway. The one of Cameron Brennan, they've been asked to park it due to not being able to meet minimum speed here. As you see Brennan there on pit road pulling into his box. It's a shame for the Mobile 1 team here. It's been a fairly rough start to the year for them, honestly.
I think it's been a rough start for the SSR camp in general in the ANCS. We currently one car in the top 10. If you said that last season to Murdo, he would slap you. It's just such an alien concept, really, that you wouldn't have at least 3 SSR cars in the top 10. They've had a really difficult day here, and they also kind of struggled at Denver as well. So some potential teething problems in that program. You know, still a long way to go. Roach Rockfield's having a very good day, and he's climbed up to 6th right now. So don't count him out just yet.
I was gonna say going into the day at least, Rafael's the highest SSR car in points in 9th. You know, the other ones currently, you know, let's see, you know, Bannock Murdo's back in 18th, the one back in 19th, and Luke Evans enters today all the way
Oh,
back
we're under caution.
in, I believe, 31st, as we are under yellow.
Can't
Not
see.
sure for what though.
We had a car stop on track. It's
It might
very
have
interesting.
been. It might have been the 70.
You think?
That would be my best guess.
Can't see anyone out of place, and there's no smoke on the back straightaway. This is incredibly strange. But alas, we are under caution, and there's no one experiencing issues on pit road. But speaking of pit road, I think everyone's going to come down here, including DeLello, which is a bit of a strange one.
Well, I think you have to at this point because you can probably go to the end from here.
Yeah,
You should be able
Yeah.
to.
this is huge here for Lotus Disbrito. Really, since this race has broken out into the middle stint, that car's just come alive. A good pit stop here will really put them in a very solid position.
Ooh,
There's contact
saw
there
a bit of
between
contact.
Hawksworth and Rowe, as we can see some debris on pit road. Doesn't look too significant for now, as we can see a majority of the field taking 4 tyres, if not everyone.
Oh, bit of contact there as well.
Rockfield's out.
South in the 00. Yeah, Rafael had a good stop.
Head of Onjack and Spurley, Freeman as well, just cutting off. Mackenzie and Spurley, Cologne's gained a few spots. Bobak Fox going to try and come out in 2nd. Justin Whitmer as
Wimmer's
well.
had a long stop. Wimmer's had a really long stop.
There he goes. And I wonder if he's
The
just
18
made a
has
few
been losing
adjustments.
spots on pit road all day.
Not a great day. I mean, he had issues on pit road as well at Denver in the APS race, getting cut off by Derek Petty at point blank range. Just one that kind of struck me as they've just made some adjustments to that 18 card to see it through to the end. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case.
Galalo's lost a bunch of ground as well.
I wonder if he's in a similar situation. I'm really confused by that strategy call. It seems like he gave away back position there for seemingly no reason. Oh,
Oh,
the caution. Are they going to get? Oh dear.
oh boy.
Nearly.
Smith.
That was strange. Naziru Mashko and Aiden Smith getting together. Doesn't seem like there's any damage of significant kind on the 89. But yeah, we're under yellow with just under 2/3 of the race completed. We'll be right back for the restart, and if we can find what's happened to cause this yellow, we will bring that to you as well. Well, more backmarker trouble here at Darlington. Bulk Borger looking to the inside of Nazira Mashko into turn 1. They just get together and Borger goes sideways. Manages to drive on, but the caution's already been brought out. Quite an early decision by USARC, given that we've seen cars wreck before and they've not put the yellow out at all. So very interesting here. Bulk Borger staying. It doesn't look too compromised, able to get that car repaired on pit road fairly well. Same for Ramashko. We'll see how they fare on this restart.
Welcome back here from Darlington, getting set to go back racing with just under 30 laps to go. As you see your top 10 moment here is Lotus Burrito, Bowback Fox, Roach Rotfield, Stephen Cologne, Peter Onjack, your top 5. Ricky Freeman Jr. finally having a good run, it seems, here. Riley Spurley Tubes sits in 7th, Blair McKenzie in 8th. Jet Hawksworth having a really nice run in 9th. And then Justin Whitmer didn't come out as far back as we thought he did. He came out in 10th here for this restart.
That was a lot worse, I have to say. DeLello was worse off. He's out on 19th, just inside top 20. Zeller as well, he's fallen back. Same for Santiago. Lots of comers and goers in this race here today at Darlington. We're heading into the final stretch. This should be an excellent battle over the next 28 laps.
Coming back to the green here, though, it's Lotus Disc Burrito out in front. Really good restart there, too.
It was excellent.
I have to see what Bowback Fox does in second, though. If my memory serves me right, he made his USARC debut at this track and turned a lot of heads with how he runs. He's an underrated player at a track like Darlington, and his pace has showed it today. But Roach Rotfield, who drove through the field, is looking to pick off another spot for second.
Oh, and he's going to right here. He easily gets that spot away. Not Onjack. Onjack is going through as well, but Cologne as well. And here comes Rotfield for the race lead.
Incredible.
They may have hooked that car up on pit road.
Easily gets it done.
Fox is falling back. Peter, you were correct.
Here
He did
comes
make his debut
McKenzie.
at Darlington for Joe Zeller Racing, and he's never driven for another team since. Had a very good run there at Darlington, and he never looked back. He's managed to get back onto the inside now. But Rockfield's taken off.
He really has, as Spurley to a bit loose off 4 right there. As Onjack out of P. Cologne walked it off, and he's going to try to make a move out of it. This is going to cost this burrito at least like 3 or 4 spots.
Might be a little bit of gamesmanship between those two drivers. Onjack reverse of that. Cologne let Onjack in earlier in the race, and now he let the 3 back in front of him to get up to second. But as this race comes down to the wire, and especially if they have to chase down that 11 car, you're not going to be given. It's going to be all take.
Here comes Freeman Jr. underneath his team owner.
Much contact.
Moves him up the racetrack.
Oh dear.
The thing about Freeman, he hasn't been too flashy with his passes up until that move. Been watching him up here in the booth, slowly and methodically working his way up through the field.
I guess I can say now he's going to get up to 3rd here. This Burrito's going to get back up to 4th. Onjack down to 5th. As Rotfield has extended his lead up to over a second.
I think my fear with Rockfield is he's just going to burn out the tyres way too early here as McKenzie falls back. Jet Hawksworth, where did he come from?
Walker up to 6th, isn't it? I mean, it's looked pretty bad all weekend. And I think people, if you expected anyone to compete at this track, it would have been the 4, but the 42 and the 40 have been the 2 to come to play today.
I think the gap out front is closing. Ricky Freeman Jr. has just taken off into third. He's looking at second. He's got a huge run of Stephen Cologne.
Ooh, is he gonna move another one up the track? Not quite.
Not quite, just pack the air on him a little bit, not enough. Cologne head foot to the floor and keeps P2 as Hawksworth is using every inch of this racetrack, trying to make a name for themselves back there, trying to get ahead of a USARC champion, and 4th as the 80 all over the joint coming into 3rd.
And here, that's Reese Kopsky and Eli Zulov had that pretty impressive top 15 last week at Denver. Not going to be able to get by Kopsky here, though. I believe that's for about 11th right now.
Yes, it is, yeah.
As Hawksworth, this Burrito going at it possibly.
Ooh, the OA got really loose, but they've managed to make it work. Disburrito back up into 5th. Hawksworth taking some evasive action from Justin Whitmer. Can he make the outside work off of 4? Gonna try. So here comes Freeman.
Freeman makes it again, and this time he's gonna make it work.
And he might take his team owner with him.
Here he goes. Yeah, Rockfield's lead has shrunk by around half. since it extended to about 1.1 seconds. It's now just under half a second.
And I'm not sure what's up with that 08 of Disparito. Had a great stop, came out in the lead of this thing, had driven through the field, but on that last round of pit stops, that car has turned as orange as a pumpkin because they are just a log jam of the field right now. It took a while for the 3:41 and 14 to get by him, but they have put on 2 seconds already and gaining even more.
Actually, here comes Freeman Jr. with a bit of a run off of 4 here. Does he make a move for the lead? Not.
Oh, that's a dive. Big dive.
Oh, that was late, but it works. And Freeman Jr. to the front.
The reason he got the lead is because he put those left side tires below the dash line on the track through 1 and 2. You can do that in 1 and 2. Can't do it in 3 and 4 because 3 and 4 is too narrow. But if you get on the flatter apron below the paint in 1 and 2, the left sides of the tires of the cars rotate just a little bit better, and I think that tiny bit of grip allowed him to fully commit to that move for the lead.
Yeah, hard racing back here. Hupsky wanted to get down. The 80 of Steelwolf was not going to let him. Steelwolf on the charge.
Ooh.
Oh, and Wimmer and Jet Hawksworth.
That was a huge hit for both of them. Wow.
Whitmer has to be beside himself in the car. I think that was frustration boiling over. Knowing you're falling out of the top 10, you have to give everything as late as we are in this race, and it was just too much. Finally ran out, found the wall. Rotfield not giving up the lead, though. Here he comes, setting up Freeman possibly in the grade.
He's got a good run down here. I think he might have had a bit of a bobble on exit, though. Gonna have to tuck back in for now.
Oh, and he's really had a poor turn 3.
He just got crossed up, I think, lifted off a little too much, and in a track like Darlington, where a lot of it is momentum-based with this rim riding you do here in South Carolina, as Onjak really trying to set up a move on the 3, that's late, but
He's got
all
him
momentum-based. Rotfield nearly finds the walls. We're still side by side for third.
Onjak's gonna have to let Cologne go for now.
I think there's another run coming.
Yes, there is, and he's a lot closer this time.
Light work by Onjak made it look very easy. And now he can set his sights on the front 2.
Up for All-Star player McKenzie, who we thought could have had a day done after a very unfortunate incident, has found themselves up in 5th. The 10 car has crawled its way back through the field as well, and Disparito still doing everything to hang on to a top 10 run. Caught the wall off of turn 2, but somehow their Toyota Camry looks fine.
Oh, and Onjak's tracking down the 11 of Roach Rotfield. He's right on that rear bumper off of turn 2. Looks like he's fallen back ever so slightly, but he is there. He is hungry. He knows how fast that 14 is. And he knows how unlucky his start to this season has been. And he can sense here a win starting all the way back in 31st.
He doesn't have the run yet, but he's all over the back of Roach. Oh, Rotfield's got a problem!
Oh dear, and it's compromised Onjak though as well. That's huge for Roach Rotfield, who's having such a good day. That looks a little bit more terminal than what we saw from Miguel. He's not going to make it back to the pits.
Yeah, we might get a yellow here, actually, if he stops on the backstretch.
He's going to stop it as low as he can by that opening to the old pit road
I'm not
on
sure,
the
are we under yellow
I
or
don't
not?
think that could be enough.
We are.
We'll have to see
we
what
are under
USARC
yellow.
calls, and they've thrown the yellow.
Wow.
A late race caution just inside 10 to go. And just as Ricky Freeman Jr. was putting out a lead because of that, because of Rotfield holding up the 3 and the 14, it's come reeling all the way back in. And are we going to see
anyone try to pit?
I don't think we are. At least
You don't have the time to drive.
Oh, hang on.
No, I think that's just stacking up.
on-
I think they're waiting for pace car to come through. Yeah,
Possibly.
no one's.
Yeah.
I can't see
Yeah,
anyone
with
pitting.
this so late in the race, it's so hard to pass here, and we've seen a lot of moves out of these brave drivers, but everybody, it's
Just like
track
hard
position
ones.
only.
Get tires. Is he on the lead lap?
Yeah,
Interesting call. That's
very
all I'm gonna
interesting
say.
call. Rockfield's only a lap down at the minute. That's not registered as a retirement. We'll get some more confirmation from that 11 team under this yellow. I believe we're not going to see much happen under this caution until we get restarted in a few laps. So we will show you a little replay of what's just happened because that really held up on Jack, and it's up some big implications for this final restart. We'll be right back here at Darlington.
Well, you see going down to 1 and 2 here, stows a tail, and right there, 11 has a brake issue, gets out of the way, thankfully. But then Stephen Cologne rips around the outside to get around Peter Onjak there. It was a very bold move, and unfortunately for the 11 of Roach Rockfield, cannot make it all the way back around, or more so, probably not really feeling like it'd be a safe thing to make it all the way back around with no brakes. Just elects to just let it roll to a stop here. And that will bring out the caution here at Darlington. So we'll get a late race restart with under 10 laps to go here in just a moment.
Welcome back to Darlington. We're going to restart and have an 8-lap dash to the finish. And I want to ask everyone here in the booth, who's your win prediction from here on out?
You know, if I'm looking at this top 5, I think it's going to be really tough to beat Peter Onjak here today. I really do. That car has been really good on these really long runs. Fringier's been fast, but Onjak is so good at these sort of racetracks here. It's going to be tough to beat him here over a short stretch like this.
I will counter with the man that has chased Onjak around this racetrack all day long, the 3 of Stephen Cologne. He needs to make a name for himself. He's been flying under the radar for 3 seasons. He's a very good driver. At a race like the Southern 500, this is the place you do it.
I'm going to be very quick with this. I'm going to put my eggs in the basket of Blair McKenzie. What a win that would be. And that 5 has been quietly quick all day long, even with damage. And we'll win an 8-lap dash, another late restart in USARC. We know that anything can happen. Here comes RFJ to the restart.
Not the best restart there. Got an okay one, I would say, but nothing crazy. And one thing that I also think we should watch, late carb on fresh tires. Can he do anything with that?
The long way back has to pass 30 cars as we are in line around the entire field through turns 1 and 2. Cologne peaks a little high to get some air on the grill. Is there anything in the 3? Not quite yet.
I think he's going to work on a run through 3 and 4, try and make something happen on the front straightaway, but RFJ is pulling away. Notice that in our predictions, no one picked him to win, even though he's leading and has led very comfortably since he took it. He's still got a ways to go here at Darlington.
Onjak, he's there.
He's
the
been
inside
unleashed.
for second.
Oh, Cologne almost gets the wall. Onjak into second. Here comes Blair McKenzie looking for third. Not quite enough, though.
It'd be too deep of a sand, and McKenzie wisely backs
Look
off.
at the run that
Freeman
Onjak
Jr.
got.
had a huge 3 and 4 last lap. This time by it's Onjak. It's going to be close between the teammates for the lead as they come across the start-finish line.
Does he look? Does he peek into turns 1 and 2? He's
He's trying to
certainly
get him
on the
loose.
apron.
He's trying to get on the bumper.
Oh, and he got loose. He got
tight.
tight.
He got in the dirty air.
Chasing each other. Be careful. You may own the team, but you
Oh,
think you care about the rest of your cars.
looks like Hawksworth nearly had an issue in the back as here comes Blair McKenzie into 3rd.
Yeah, McKenzie's got to get going here. We're coming to 5 laps to go.
Alexander Rowe is in 5th, by the way. That's incredible
What a
from the
run.
62 team. Here comes on
Just
Jack
the
again.
2 Onj Auto Chevrolets going at it here for the lead and the win with 5 laps to go.
I think they got the same setup on. They're so evenly matched through 1 and 2, just chasing each other. What a dogfight as Onjak really backs up the corner into 3. It's Cologne all over McKenzie, who slams the door.
Oh, he
he's
had a
looking
look.
on the inside there, but he got loose.
Killed his run, and he's going to have to work on it all again on lap 89 of 92. Here comes Rowe looking inside of Cologne. He's going to get up into 4th.
What a drive by Alexander Rowe here. It's Onjak losing touch a little bit here.
He's got time.
Not a lot
A
of
track
time.
like this, where you have to commit to your passes, exit speed of the corner is everything. And Onjak was so low off of 4 that time, got loose, had to lift, killed his momentum, and now he's 3/10 back. There's time, but he's going to need 3 perfect laps from here.
Well, he's now 5/10 back. It's all about how he
Look at
makes...
the run he's got for 1 and 2 though.
Yeah, it's all about... He needs another 4 corners of that, really.
Blair
We under-
McKenzie now
Caution,
waiting.
we're
in
under
the
yellow, that's gonna be the
wings.
race.
Caution.
Ricky Freeman
Husky might run
Jr.
around.
off of turn 4. That's going to be the race if he can make it back to the checkered flag, which I imagine he will. And a hugely lackluster finish to what has been a fantastic race. Hupsky and Romashko, and I believe Mina Truex is on pit road. Very unfortunate end to proceedings here at Darlington.
Yeah, say, we've had
While the race was 92 laps, 90 of them were really good.
That much is
we've
true.
had a lot of endings under yellow this year. I mean, at what point do you start to look into overtime if you're USARC? Is a question I think that starts maybe needing to be asked with the drama at Denver in the APS as well as today.
Yeah, I would suspect we've had issues with Reese Kupski and Mina Truex and Naziri Romashko possibly. Ricky Freeman Jr. is going to take the white flag in what has been an eventful Southern 500.
It has been eventful. A lot of comers, a lot of goers. Freeman Jr. nowhere for most of the day. Gets up at the end, executes when it matters. Same with the 14. And especially the 62 of Alexander Rowe. Who would have thought he'd be bringing home a top 5 today if he makes it around under caution? Huge run for that team.
It's a very interesting race here today for sure. A lot of comers and goers, as said. And it's going to be Chevrolet's first win of the year. So 3 manufacturers have won the first 3 races this year, leaving Dodge out in the cold so far as the only one not to go to victory lane.
And that's a surprise considering how Dodge dominated the first half of this race.
Lalo's only
Yeah.
going to come home with 9th. Whitmer's outside of the top 10.
15th.
Yeah, 15 for Whitmer there.
Only 13th. That's the 77. That's Akma Fayev in the 77 for AQRT this week. What an amazing run on Cup Series debut. Greenland's recovered. He was kind of nowhere today. He's going to finish in 12th. Other notables, Eli Steelwolf had a good day as well. He's going to come home
Yeah, he's
in
going to
7th.
Yeah, 7th. Looking for at the top 20. I saw Orson Billy in the top 20 possibly. So a decent run for that team. It's a very interesting race though here, but coming to the yellow and checkers here at Darlington, it will be Ricky Freeman Jr. getting his 2nd USARC win.
A rather uneventful
BPM.
finish.
Yeah, it was, but for Freeman, he's going to be excited. He was on BPM for the first 2 seasons, had a lot of race-winning speed, and unfortunately had a lot of heartbreak as well. Shock move, changes teams, and 3 races in, he's matched his win total.
Onjak, a great drive, has to be said. One of the, dare I say, one of the all-time greatest drives, maybe one not to win, but still brilliant nonetheless. The glaze too much there. Blair McKenzie as well, great recovery from that incident under yellow. Alexander Rowe as well, what an incredible start to life that 62 team's having. Throwback Fox ran up front all day long, and he's had a great start to both ANCS and APS campaigns. Throughout the field as well, a few other notables that we've not picked up on. Very quiet days for Austin Billion, Christian Vargas, Maverick McColton ran into issues all day long.
Daniel Suss got top 20, I think.
Yeah, very quiet, but he got the job done in 20th. Jet Hawksworth fell back to 21st after nearly running, I believe it was 5th was his high point. Roach Watfield recovering to be 29th. Justin Henley also a lap down. And a few others here at the back of the field. Reese Cupsey catching up as well. So with that, we're going to see a quick replay of what's brought out this final caution to end the day early here at Darlington.
Well, with some possible issues earlier in the race, shuffled the 05 back, and this was a big issue. A terminal engine failure for the 05 of Mina Truex. Not how a debut race you want to have go in USARC, but have to keep their head up and hope for better days ahead if they can get back into this Cup Series car once again. But it was a slow end to this race off of turn 2, and in harm's way, needed to throw the caution, so the fans can go home happy knowing they saw a ton of great racing today, albeit if the finish was a bit of a letdown.
Well, I have to say, what a fantastic race we've seen at Darlington today, regardless of the finish. 2 weeks in a row now in USARC, we've had the races finish under caution. I have to say, in recent weeks and months, we've had to question USARC officials regarding not putting out the yellow, and I think today they did a good job of putting out the yellow when they needed to, really, in all cases. So kudos to them on that one. But I think overall, just great racing throughout, interesting strategical calls and interesting storylines throughout the field. It was a very long race, a real slugfest, but my oh my, that was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just a lot of fun racing here today at Darlington. A track that's always delivered here. And, we were a little bit nervous about these cars going here after Denver. It was a bit of a lackluster race in some ways, according to some of the fans. But I think this race delivered here today for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how this car develops here as the season goes along.
Yeah, only 3 races in, and it's really shaping up to be a fantastic season. 3 races and 3 different winners, 3 very different winners as well, and depending on the style of races that we've had. But next week we head out to Rockingham, not too far away from here at Darlington as well. A really unique circuit. We're going to be there with the APS as well. Yeah, just another unique type of track that we're excited to see these ANCS cars go around. So till then, goodbye.